Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trackside Talk podcast. This is episode 1 of our new show, and today we have the 2023 V6 Claimer champion, Cara Tarr, and also her husband, the 2023 Bump to Pass champion, Reesen Tarr. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Cara has also raced in the Roadrunner division. She has in 2023, she had 1 win, 3 top 5s, and 5 top 10s in a very large Roadrunner class. So, question is, what is the goal for 2024?
What are you racing?
Yes. What am I racing?
Yes.
I'm racing the V6 class and the Roadrunner class.
Going
Again?
double duty again?
Double duty. Doubling down.
Do you have a new car? Switching
Nope.
cars? Same cars?
We're using the same cars. I actually used the V6 Claimer car at the end of the season in the demo derby. And we ran that, and I got to race with the Bump to Pass guys in there. And so it's a little banged up, but we're hoping it'll be looking good by season.
Man, when you race the V6 Claimer class and you guys go backwards, your car's like this, and then the tires start smoking. It's like, are you racing that car again this year? Because it had a hard life last year.
It did, yes. But she's been trusty, so we'll keep her.
Nice.
Air conditioning still works?
It does,
Very
yes.
down.
Yeah.
That's
When
important.
I'm waiting in lineup to go out, that thing is blaring.
You're like, I'm the only one that gets to sit here and enjoy life.
It's quite comfy.
So, tell us a little bit about your background and career. How did you get started racing?
So I got started racing when my husband asked if I wanted to do a demolition derby. He's like, do you want to do a derby? And I was like, sure. So we did that and did many more after that. But we found that the best part that I enjoyed doing and that I was kind of good at was the racing portion. And so I looked at him one day and I was like, can I race? And we built me a Roadrunner car.
Is this the same car that you started with?
No. So I started with a Pinto in the Roadrunner class. It was actually, was it your first race car?
My first car?
Yeah, your first car. So we bought it back, and I got to race it as my first car for the first 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years, yeah.
2 years on that one.
Mm-hmm. She was a hard one to drive, but it was a lot of fun.
Is this one a lot easier then?
Oh, yes. The Honda is way easier to drive.
Pinto is maybe a little stronger.
Yeah, not so much like a pop can.
I think she ran into just about everything with that one.
In the Pinto?
Yeah.
Hey, that was my learning years, okay?
Yeah, it was a learning car.
But it was sturdy, I hope.
It was,
Like,
yeah.
Built like a tank, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Surprisingly, actually, I built it when I was 15.
Wow.
First started racing in 2009, and I mean, I ran into the wall at least a dozen times. So, must have built that one right.
Yep.
So, share a memorable moment that you have had from your earlier days when you first started racing in your Pinto, or even the
Yes.
demo. What's your favorite one?
I think the most memorable, I'll never forget it. We spent, all winter working on the Pinto, trying to get it ready for the first race.
Charried it out.
Charried it out. Reesen said, Cara, whatever you do not hit the wall. And
Not yet.
so, what was it, the first practice?
Yeah, first practice of the first race there.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but I went full speed into the wall.
Well, she's kind of driving down the middle of the straightaway, and I said, Cara, just get up a little closer to the wall there. So, all of a sudden here she comes out of the corner, straight towards the wall, and just plastered the wall, like hard. I was like, oh. Well, when she came in, she was upset that I was going to be upset, but I was smiling. Glad she was all right, but I was like, well, you got nice and close to the wall. That's what we need. Maybe just a little too close.
Little too close for sure.
But we just pulled the fender back out, and she was able to race.
It wasn't afraid of the wall anymore, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, after that was kind of like broke it in
Was it here at Stateline?
Yep.
at Stateline.
I have
yeah.
only ever raced at Stateline.
Oh, well, that makes
That's a fun
the
fact.
rest of the
That
questions
is a
easier.
really cool fact.
Yeah.
Because I think that was one of the things that I was going to ask. Is
Yeah.
where else have you raced?
So one of the things that, because Grace and I are new to Stateline, we're still learning everybody. And the one thing that I've seen with all of the Tars is when shit hits the fan, you guys, from my perspective, like photos and whatever, you guys are usually very supportive of whoever got hit or spun or their bumpers falling off. Like, they'll come in the pits. You guys just rip it off and, tell them, hey, get back in there. Go, go, go. It's,
Your guys' competition is fierce.
Yeah, the competition is fierce, and you're in a lot of different classes. But
I think we're all over the board,
Yeah.
honestly.
But it's just from my perspective, you guys really are supportive of everybody in the family, which is really cool to
Yeah.
see. You don't rip on anybody. I remember one of the races, Taz got turned in turn 2 and just piled up. It was just a racing accident, and he was super frustrated. And I remember I was on the fence watching everybody, and you guys were just like, hey, bring it down, get focused, get your head back in the race, because we
Yeah.
can get you back out there, but you have to mentally get back out there too. Stop freaking out, breathe, and get back out there. And I think that's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, we, I'm trying. I don't care if I'm a lap down or they're a lap down or whoever. It's nice to, when the car gets wrecked, come back in the pits. If we can make it go back out, just finish the race.
Yeah.
Whether it be a lap down, last place, just to go back out and finish.
Yeah.
Got
Finish hard.
Yeah, I got that from my dad. He doesn't ever. It doesn't matter what the race is or what it is. Come back in, fix it real quick, go back out, and at least take checkered flag.
Yeah.
So.
How many extra parts do you generally carry for everything then?
Depends on the day.
When I don't bring anything, that's usually when everything breaks. And then when I come prepared, then everything goes perfect. So usually on a bigger race, bring some spare parts. On the regular races, just bring a big hammer and a
Yeah,
pry
it's
bar.
hard because on any given race, I think there's 4 or 5 of us that are out there. So
Also, a lot of times, if there's something we need that we can't get, a lot of the other racers at the track are real supportive, and most of the time they'll loan us something, or we can buy something, or they'll help us out.
yeah, we have a really great racing community at Stateline.
So.
Yeah, that was another thing. When Owen had wrecked his
Blew his
Legend
engine.
and blew his engine, just to see everybody go over there and just, from looking at it, it was like, there's no way.
Right.
There's absolutely no way he can get back out there. And it was really cool to see everybody work together.
Oh,
It didn't
yeah.
matter what team, everybody was over.
Yeah.
What are you racing this year?
Ooh, I don't know. What should I race?
Is it a secret? Have you guys not told anybody what you're racing?
I don't know. I think I got the Bunt to Pass car. I got my hobby car. I have stuff to put a Fever 4 car together. I have stuff to put a vintage modified together.
I'm going to race every single race.
I tried that last year, but the Bunt to Pass kind of took my season. Because I think I maybe, as soon as I went out there, I just didn't care about the car.
So we had this conversation the other day, and Kyle's like, what's your favorite? What's actually is your favorite? And I was like, well, this is Bump to Pass.
Yeah.
Because there's no, who cares if you're hitting each other? That's what you're meant to do. So you can't get mad at the other driver for screwing up your fender, and it's going to cost you money because that's what it's made for.
You
Yeah.
signed up for it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it's the most entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. I've had the most fun in there, but I get all done. I'm like, oh man, I shouldn't hit the wall, or maybe I should have pulled in the pits when I thought that motor was going to blow up. But it looked pretty cool, and it caught on fire into a flame ball, so it's well worth it.
It was very. I love the footage from that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll put it. I can maybe see if I can find it. We'll put it on this video.
Yeah.
Are you going to race hobbies now that the purse is really high for the Idaho 200?
Yeah,
I think
saw
if it
that.
was my way, he
Yeah.
would.
Oh, yeah. No,
He's
I'll
taken
probably
some
put it together for that.
convincing.
I'd like to race it this year. It's pretty much ready to go. I got to figure out what's going on with the motor. Seems to be the main problem with that thing. So if I can get that all figured out, I definitely am going to race that. It's my plan. Definitely that big money race. Got
What
to show
about
up for
figure
that.
8?
Yeah.
Figure 8 with the hobby car?
No, the figure 8 class.
Oh, the 4-cylinder figure eight. Oh yeah, I have a car too that I could possibly go for that.
You have a car for every class, except a Legend. You don't actually have. Do you
don't-
have a Legend hiding somewhere?
I don't really have anything that cool.
You can't do a Bando, so no Legend, no Bando. What else can't you do? You don't have a Prolate hiding somewhere.
I do, but that got wrecked. And
yeah.
Oh,
that class was fun, but it's very advanced, and I like these lower classes, hobby stock stuff like that. I have more fun doing. Yeah, I would say 75% of like most of the racing stuff I do, especially the bunt to pass, is mainly for the fans.
Those are the best.
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's what especially the bunt to pass, demolition derbies, any of that kind of stuff. I'm trying to get the fans to be riled up. So I usually go.
You guys can't really hear it, and I wish you could. I don't know how well it kind of rolls over for the live feed, but when you guys collide, you
when
can
you-
hear.
I can hear it in the car.
You
Yeah.
can hear it in the car.
Especially the demo derbies.
Yeah.
You go super full speed and you make a good hit, and it's silent for a second,
And then the cheering.
and then all of a sudden it's just like super loud.
I didn't know you guys could ever hear
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't really hear it when like if Sherry's going live on her thing, you can tell that
Yeah.
there's cheering, but like you can hear it way better. Just it's kind of awesome just being able to hear all of the people just cheering every time there's a hit or like you.
Or somebody gets spun. Like
Yep.
anytime anybody gets spun,
I think that's a
like,
fan's favorites.
yeah, they rise up and cheer, and yeah, it's fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
So who are your sponsors this year?
So currently we are only holding Wheelman as a sponsor so far.
So you are looking for more sponsors then?
We are. We always are welcoming new people to our team.
And how can they contact you if somebody was watching this and wanted to sponsor you?
I do have a racing page. It's Cara Reesen Racing, and I'm very responsive on there.
Awesome. What about you?
I actually don't ever have sponsors.
I was thinking about that. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a sticker on your car except the number.
Yeah,
and then
it's
the other thing.
Usually, I can usually manage most of the racing stuff just because I do work on my own stuff, and kind of do my own work and everything. So it's not much I got to outsource, and really a lot of it's just turning wrenches. The late model deal was, I was like, oh man, I need some sponsors for this. I took all my my money, but if someone comes up and asks, hey, I'd like to sponsor you, I'd be like, heck yeah, but I don't really personally go out and ask for sponsors because I've been able to kind of manage it. It would be nice. I mean, heck, get like a set of tires or something. I'd be pumped because those are expensive. But everything else, once I kind of get the car going and rolling, depending on the class, I can kind of manage it. But sponsors would be awesome.
So how come you guys don't have like a Tarr racing page? Just because there's like 100 of you.
Yeah, I don't know who would run that.
Everybody logs
full-time
in
job.
their own. Yeah, everybody logs in on their own thing and be like, hey, here's Cara's day. Here's Taz's day. Here's Reason's day. I mean, I've always wondered why you don't have like one page dedicated because Taz does have his page,
Yep.
which is awesome, and that's why I was hounding you. I was like, you
Yeah.
gotta make one because it's just like I don't want to just tag him because tagging is harder on Facebook. They make it easier to tag businesses than it does people.
Right.
But it's so much nicer that you can find a racing page and see your professional stuff versus your personal stuff. It
Right.
keeps it separate.
Yeah.
I do like that aspect.
Yeah, Cara just got her racing page. I like to be nonchalant. I like to just like,
Incognito.
I wonder if Reason's going to be here. Show up super late. Go in
Super
there.
late for sure.
Yeah, I like to be sneaky. So if I had a racing page, everybody would know what's going on, but
All
it
the
might
time.
be too much.
Right?
Yeah.
Gotta be
sneak in there.
incognito. I like it. So describe the most intense race you have participated in.
I would say this year when I won my first Roadrunner race. The year before I had won in the B main, but this was like my first A main win. And I don't know, like even racing, like if you start in the back and you have to race your way, absolutely the most fun you'll ever have. Just passing everybody, trying to get to the front, but there's something about starting on the pole and keeping it a whole race. There is so many nerves around that because you're like, when are they coming? Where are they at? And you have to hold it all together.
You don't have any mirrors.
No. I've got,
can't
I
see
do have my
anything.
rear view mirror, and that is it. And so it's kind of, you're always looking over your shoulder. Oh my gosh, is this it? Is this it? I remember looking up at the scoreboard, and I think it said 10 laps left. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Hang on for dear life.
Yes.
You did.
I did, yeah.
Drove
But
good.
that was the most intense.
Yeah, he was on. Bennett was on your tail, I think, the whole race.
Yeah.
Kind of sneak under there, but Cara'd get a good run off, and just he never, unless he would have kind of smashed into her and got her sideways or something. I think he maybe a couple times he kind of nudged you a little bit.
A little.
I think
managed
there
it.
was a couple of times where he was right there, and we were all like, "Oh no!" Like on the edge of our seats. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like
I felt it every time, and I'm like, not now, not now.
Yeah, I was sweating. I was like, oh, but I didn't want her to get spun out, or for her to lose it in front of everybody. Because you've seen if you spin out in the front of the pack, like everybody will go by. We're like, oh, we're in the clear, and all of a sudden here goes whoa, dang it.
So how many tires do you go through if you're just running leap or running Roadrunner?
Honestly, I think this is the same set I've ran all year.
She's been getting good with tires. When she first started, she'd go through like a tire, peel the cap right off that thing in a practice session. It's got the wheels all the way cranked, and I've kind of been getting her to, kind of once the car starts skirching to lift, and actually this same 4 tires on the same 4 corners that the car came with.
Yep.
She's managed to,
Saves on cost. That's nice.
and we're gonna run them again this year.
They
I
look
think
nice.
what, 3 races out of it, maybe?
I don't know until they pop.
until they go.
Run them till they go.
Yeah.
So do you get nervous when you're out there racing?
Every day. Every race.
How do you control your nerves?
Well, we have so much time before we go out when they have us lined up. I think that makes the nerves a little bit worse.
And
then
the
you're
AC and the V6.
except for the AC and the V6, yes.
She ain't sweating in there.
Yes. But I would say I'm the most nervous when we are waiting to go out, when we're in the line and they're like waiting for that last class to take their picture with the winner or whatever it may be. That is definitely the most nervous when you're waiting to go out because you're like, anything can happen. So I just kind of try to take a deep breath and go for it.
Seems like once you enter the track and
Everything
you
kinda goes away.
Yeah, 1 to go. After that, good to go. No more nervous. And then once the green flag goes, then it's like,
It's racing
yeah,
time.
you're ready to go. But yeah, that first little spot when you're sitting there in the pits and you're like, all right, here we go.
I hope everything's.
Did I remember to do that one thing about
I
that
know.
thing?
Oh god.
I'm like, did I buckle up? Like, I'm
Yeah,
double
everything.
checking
Gas
everything.
cap on.
Did we put gas in it?
Did we put gas in it?
You look at each other like you've done that before.
Yeah, we had a couple of problems there. Not as bad as Trevin and Taz, but
Yeah, that's true. We were racing, and
You started the
was it the first time that I bought the car? It was the first race
yeah, I think it was this car.
at the Halloween
It
bash.
actually had gas in it, but it was like quarter tank, and
Every time I'd go into the turn, it would run out of gas. And so, like, it all sloshed to one side, and Reason's like, what are you doing? I'm like, it won't go. I don't know what it's doing. And then we figured it out.
I was like, it's got a quarter tank. So then we brought it up to a half a tank, and then it still do it randomly. And I got up under the back and looked, there's a giant dent right in the gas tank. So I'm guessing that we keep it full now, all the way to the top, and haven't had any problems. So
That was a fun experience.
yeah.
So how do you, how do I word that? How do you manage racing between Roadrunners and V6?
On the
you
double
run-
duty days.
Yeah, on the double duty days. Like,
Yeah,
how
most
do you,
of them are double duty
Yeah.
days. I want to say a good, 70% are double duties. I would say it's running from one car to the next a lot of the times. Matt's done a really good job as if he sees that racers are in 2 classes, he tries to put a class between, which is really nice. But a lot of times, Reason might have to bring my car up so that I can just drop and load into the next one.
So off-track life.
Yes.
So what are some hobbies or interests that you do outside of racing?
So I am actually on a softball team that I'm coaching and playing on.
coaching and playing?
Yes.
Manager player, nice.
Manager player, yes. So
The
those
Jackie
take
Moon.
right. I actually grew up playing softball my whole life, so this is just kind of my fun escape to still get to do those things. And so yeah, we play every Sunday night, double headers. We get out of there about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then we start our work week.
So you
Nice.
race Friday and maybe Saturday.
Yep.
And then Sunday you sleep in and relax for 5 seconds and decompress, and then you turn around and then you just play softball.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we really sleep in with our 2 toddlers, but we try our best.
Busy 100% of the time because you're both racing either Friday and or Saturday, and then
Softball.
you go with her.
Yes.
Yeah,
we do
bring
it
the
as a whole
kids,
family.
and
So,
they bring their bikes.
That's nice.
and then on Thursdays, the boys are in BMX bike racing. So we do that Thursday nights.
Oh.
And
When
we
you-
both work full time.
Yeah.
What do you do?
For work or
Yeah.
for repair aluminum wheels.
Oh, so you work at Wheelman?
Yep. I work at Wheelman.
I don't.
Karen
No,
does not.
I know. She posts her dental things. Be like, hey, somebody want to come work with me?
Yeah. We are always looking for hygiene.
Yeah. Yeah, the kids actually, we just last year got them started in BMX racing down there at Joe Albee, or what's it called
Yeah.
now? Joe Albee?
Joe Albee.
Joe Albee. And they're doing that now, which is awesome. So,
Are they going to do go-karts?
yes.
Carter
Yep.
races
Carter
go-karts
started
right now.
racing go-karts this year. I think maybe 5 races total.
Yeah.
And he won, he managed to win 2 of them.
Yeah.
So it's super cool. He's picking it up quick.
He's
So
having
is
a lot
it
of fun.
Going to be straight to bandos?
Oh.
Or is there going to be bandos or is it going to be roadrunners?
I think I'm more of a full-size
Yeah.
car kind
full
of guy.
size.
No, see here, I thought you were going to try and take a championship in every class. So
Oh.
I was thinking that you'd have to do bandos, so you'd be like, okay, here's a championship in this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and then there's the wall.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
So
topic.
we're going to go to the fan and interaction part. So, do you have a heartwarming or fan encounter that you really enjoyed?
I would just say that, like, all the fans, they make everything just so much better. They're cheering everything. My favorite is when we do the candy toss and I can actually interact with the fans.
Yeah.
Or when they come down to meet the drivers, they kind of gravitate to who their favorite is. And it's kind of cool, like, for all the little girls and boys to see who their favorite is. That's a lot of fun. And then after the race, once a lot of the fans don't know that they open up those gates and they can come into the pits
Yeah.
and see the cars and see the carnage and all of that. And so when we do have fans come up to us and they have us sign their shirt or something, those are my favorite moments.
Do you have any gear that you're going to sponsor this year? I know you said you don't really have any sponsors and stuff, but are you going to
Yeah.
get maybe some T-shirts made that you can hand out or sell or get
Sell.
merch?
I'm not sure. We haven't really talked a whole lot about that.
But you have a little bit still yet before you get going.
Absolutely.
But
We'd have
we
to
were
put,
It would be a good idea.
we were slacking really hard once, or Kyle was doing some interviews and stuff, so he had to
Yeah.
like record a bunch of stuff and do photos. And I forget who it was. I forget the class that we were doing, but the person left their car. They set up an entire stand with their merch. They had shirts.
Oh,
they
yeah.
had hats. And I'm like, you put that up so darn fast, and you could just see all the fans coming in, and they just had all their stuff for sale.
That's
or,
awesome.
Or to give away. I'm not really sure what they were doing with it, but I thought it was
Yeah.
kind of really neat that they could just set up
That's
a mini
super
store.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't done that yet. I've always kind of been thinking about it, but we have so many cars and so many, like, what cars do we put on the shirt?
Right.
All of them?
All of them.
All of them.
Because they'd probably, instead of making, look like Cara could make shirts just of her for this car, but, or make a Tar shirt.
It'd
But
be
it'd
cool
look-
to have one with a mannequin with a canoe on it.
Right?
That
Those
Kinda
would
neat
sell.
too.
Those would sell really good.
Should have done that last year. Missed opportunities.
About the fans, my favorite thing to do is when they come down, they're looking at the car and they're real interested in the car and everything, and I'll say, hey, you want to hop in there? And they are pumped. And
Their
then depending,
faces just light up.
Yeah.
a lot of like the younger kids too, I'll say, you want to start it? And they start it and they're just freaking out, So
Well, that's something they'll always remember and
yeah,
gives them a
because
good
I did
memory.
that when I was a kid. First grade, my dad took for show and tell, brought the race car there. All the kids got to go in there and rev it up a little bit.
You never told me that.
Yeah, that was first grade.
That's pretty cool.
That is
I was
very
the
cool.
coolest kid
Yeah.
ever for a week after that. But that's the big thing, is after even adults. Some adults come down and are like, hey, you want to hop in there? And they just think it's the coolest thing ever.
I'd be all for it.
Right?
All for it. Have you been seriously injured while driving, or have you had like a whiplash event, or have
I
you
would
had
say
some
in
sort of
demo
sprain?
derbies, but
Yeah.
even though we've had some pretty hard hits in the Roadrunner, I don't think that I've had anything that's really hurt me. Knock on wood.
Well, Demolition Derby stuff. Them are some good hits in there. And
Yeah.
yeah, you just, I don't know. It doesn't hurt.
So you haven't been hurt either? Well, like
No,
not
just like your
your
regular,
leg?
like a little seatbelt mark or something on there,
Your
you know.
late
But
model?
late model?
When it burnt your leg?
Oh yeah, but that wasn't like an impact hit.
Oh, no.
That was actually pretty
Mechanical.
bad. Look at my leg. It's like
oh wait, that was
Oh wow.
that year before last?
It was like 3 years ago.
permanently like.
that?
I think I remember that was when we first started,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
That's
And
like
then
that was my
walking
first
around
race.
with shorts on.
That was my first race, and I couldn't find my actual racing suit, so I wore this little thin, little single layered suit. And one of the roll bars there, right at the tunnel, my leg kind of rests up against it. And first race, I was in top 5, and I was like, oh man. And I think they were running 75 laps, something like that. And I was like, ooh, man, it's feeling kind of hot down there. And I'm like, I don't care, because I'm in the moment, and I'm like, oh, man, it's like, now it's starting to feel weird. Like hot, tingly, couldn't figure it out. And then after the race, I looked, and it just looked like a burn, but it got
Multiple
bad.
layers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it like burned like that deep. It like cooked my leg. So now I got a permanent scar, and now I don't wear a single layer race suit anymore.
We learned our lesson on that one.
Yeah, but yeah, other than that, really, I feel like I've gotten some pretty hard hits, but nothing. I've never gotten actually injured. Just a little sore maybe.
Yeah.
In the neck or something maybe, but
Hopefully we never have to experience that.
Yes.
Nor the kids.
no.
Yes.
It probably is maybe a little bit more dangerous for them to be on bikes, to be more possibility of a
Oh,
of
yeah.
a break.
Oh yeah, hey, I wrecked on a bike.
Wait. What were you doing?
So we got the kids racing BMX, and that's what we started out doing. We all raced BMX. Like we traveled. We were super into BMX. I think probably like 10 years before we did any motor sport stuff. And so I used to be fairly decent. Yeah, I wasn't as good as my brother Brennan and Bryson. They were super good. I was like kind of mediocre, but still competitive. But then quit racing. I think it's probably been 10 years since I've actually raced, and we got the kids into it, and like all the kids, all the nephews and nieces and everything. But none of us are racing. I said, all right, I'm gonna try it out. So I went out there and actually was able to stay on the bike. My legs were noodles, but the main event there, there's 2 guys in the class that were experts that were actually really good. I tried to keep up with them. I went in the first corner and just totally wiped right out, ripped my pants in half, and just skinned my whole entire leg and arm.
He hasn't raced since.
Yeah, I didn't go back out yet. And I think I might wear a better pair of jeans. It just split them right in half.
All right. So last one, future goals.
Yeah, I would say for this season, for the V6 class, we are just trying to build that class. So I wasn't going to race this year, and then a couple of girls reached out and said, I really want to do that, but only if you do it again. So I'm racing that class again and hoping that it's going to continue to build. And so that would just be my main goal for the V6 class, is just getting it a little bit bigger, a little bit more competitive, and a lot more fun. And then for Roadrunner, I've got a goal of top 3 finish. Last year, my goal was to be top 10 and the first female in points. And I finished 6th. And what was there, 52 drivers?
I think there was 57.
57
Yeah,
drivers.
there was
So-
almost 60s because it was almost 30 races.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
There was a ton of us out there. It was very competitive, a lot of fun. And I managed to place 6th, which was really good. And I was the top female in points, which was my goal. And so this year, same goal, just top 3. Maybe win 2 main events.
That'd be really cool.
Yes. Lots of fun.
What are your goals for this year?
Well, mainly
Sure.
focus on Cara, make sure everything's going good there. I don't know. I got to pick. I want to definitely get the hobby car ready and dialed in and buy 4 new tires.
So many choices.
I know, a lot
I
of
would love to
choices.
see him back in that hobby car.
Are you ever going to drive a hobby car, though?
I don't know that I will.
Kind of want to put her in a mini stock.
Yeah, I think that would be
Yeah.
like the next step up.
Rear wheel drive to front wheel drive is so much different. These cars are way easier to drive. But she started out in that Pinto, and that Pinto drove awful. Everyone that gets in there is like, dude, how do you keep this thing straight? And she actually managed to keep it and you get it to drive pretty good. The mini stocks drive a lot better than that car, but going a lot faster if you do, kind of get a little out of control. It can get worse, but I feel like she'd actually be pretty good in a mini stock car. So I have all that stuff to put one together. So probably not this year,
I want to
but
see you in your hobby again.
I think I'm definitely going to go for that big money race. I don't like tires are too expensive. I don't like buying tires. That's my main thing. But I'll buy tires for that race.
Yeah.
And I think if I got 4 good tires, car's running good, and I kind of got it dialed in, I think it would be pretty competitive in there. So looking forward to that. I had that Bunt to Pass car. Nobody buys it. I'll probably bring it out and race it.
I cannot believe nobody's bought that.
Yeah, I figured someone would come scoop it up, but if not, I'll come out there and race that again. The problem with that car is the way I drove it and thrashed it. Race a week and then spend like the next 2 weeks fixing it. So it kind of took away my whole summer. I wanted to get I had a small issue with the motor in the hobby car first race of the year. My goal is to race that hobby car the whole season, but then the Bunt to Pass car took over. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of why I'm trying to sell it, just so I can focus on the hobby car. But if nobody buys it, I'm going to go out there and thrash it some more.
So what made you put the canoe on there? Where'd that come from? What's the story behind that?
Oh, gosh. Well, see, I was getting the car all ready for, I think it was the first race.
I think so.
Yeah, I think I put that on there the first race of the season.
No, I think
Excuse
it
me.
might have been the second.
I think it was the second.
Was it the second race?
Yeah, because
We do have some photos without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it was one of those first part of the season. I had this big, long fiberglass canoe that has been floating around forever, and it has a bunch of holes in it, and it does not float, and it doesn't work. And it was, like, really long, and I didn't want to put it in the truck and take it to the dump, and so I just sat there beside the house. And
So you just put it on your race car?
well, yeah, I mean, it was a really late night. Had a couple beers, and I was looking at that, and I was looking at that, and I was like, So there it ended up, right on top.
See, that's one of those moments where it's like, my mind's telling me no, but my body.
I just figured someone would have thought it was funny.
Where did the mannequin come from?
Oh, the mannequin, actually. Yeah, a friend of mine on Facebook messaged me and said, hey, do you want this? And I was like, yeah, I want that. Was kind of unsure where it came from or something. I didn't ask him. He said he got it in a storage.
Don't ask
Don't need
questions.
to know.
I was like, yeah, I'll take it. So I took her out, tossed her in the canoe. Found out it actually came from Maverick. It was one of the Maverick displays that they wire
Oh, like
up.
Maverick the gas station?
Maverick, the gas station.
Oh.
How he ended up with it, I don't know. But I just took and put that in there just
Sorry
to
if
try to
any
be more
Maverick's
funny.
missing your mannequin.
I think it was out of season, so I think they just got rid of it or something.
Now
I
you
don't
need to
know.
be sponsored by Maverick.
I know, right?
Oh, that'd be perfect. But the whole time, as soon as I pulled onto the road, like heading out to the track, I don't think I ever took a grin off my face because I think they thought it was real. They were driving down Trent, they'd look,
got lots
and then
of
they'd
looks.
double look, and yeah, it was.
Yeah, I didn't think of that. You're driving down there because you didn't assemble it. It came pre-assembled. You didn't assemble it there at the track.
No,
Right.
no, I thought the
We
thing was
just
gonna
left it
fly
on
out.
all year.
Yeah, it stayed. Hey, the boat and the mannequin stayed on the car the whole time.
So
I
you
had a lot of-
technically did a boat race all year then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna give someone $100 if they could knock that boat off there, and Daryl almost did. When I spun out and I went to go toss it in first gear, I'm rolling down the track, go to pop the clutch. Turns out I had it in reverse. Backed right into Daryl, and Daryl just boom, just folded that back end over, and that boat was just still hanging on. He didn't get $100.
There's this season though, could happen.
It could.
Yeah. This season, for sure, Cara will be out there in the 2 cars. I usually
Are
with
we going to
the-
do any races together this year?
You know, so the V6 class, I try to build a car for that. Not for me to, like last year I built a car, brought it out there once, raced it, made sure it was operable, and then I sell them, is what I've been doing. So I'm going to probably build another V6 car,
To get a
race
new
the first
driver out
race. Yeah, to get a new driver out there.
Yeah.
And then sell it, for a little bit under the claim price. I think I might do that again this year. Come
That'll
out
be
and
fun.
spin Cara out or something.
If
And
you
then
can
sell
catch
it.
me.
I got to catch her first. But
Yeah.
yeah, I got so many options, and it's kind of coming down on crunch time. But I'll definitely be out there.
Doing
And
something.
something.
It'll be a surprise.
Yes.
Top
It'll be a
secret.
big surprise.
So
Very cool. Well, thank you
Thank you
both
for having
of you
us.
for coming out here and the
Participating in our
snow,
experiment.
apparently.
Yeah,
Yes.
weather's great. Go do some hot laps real quick.
Yeah. Some drifting laps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, thanks for having us. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.